Welcome back, it's Emily, and I'm going to be talking about Invisalign today. I've been getting some questions, so I just want to talk about my journey so far, maybe help you out if you're getting Invisalign, thinking about it, so stay tuned. So when I was choosing Invisalign, I was torn between 3 different competitors. So it was Invisalign, Smile Direct Club, and I think it was Candid. So it depends on what you're looking for. So I know for me, I can't do anything on my own. I need all the help I can get. So I went with Invisalign because you have in-person appointments with the dentist. You can ask questions, get feedback. You know, if a problem happens, you can go in versus talking about it over the phone. And that's what worked for me. So to find a dentist that did Invisalign, I actually got referred by my primary dentist. But you can just do an easy Google search of dentists in your area that do Invisalign. I looked at the reviews, I found a reputable person, I did an intake process that was free, they did scans, they told me if this was actually going to work, and they quoted me a fee. Most insurances will not cover it because it's considered a cosmetic surgery or procedure. When I went in for that first initial appointment, they took a scan of my teeth. It was actually 3D imaging, super cool. And they got to see where my teeth are. They asked me where my problem areas were and where I wanted to focus on. So for me, I had a front tooth that's just falling behind a tooth, and that was my focus area. I didn't need to do both my top and bottom because my bottoms already have a built-in retainer. So I just did the top. Dentist I went to, I'm not gonna tell you because there's creepers out there and I don't want you to find me, but they gave me 3 payment options. So one, I could use a credit card, pay it all right there. I could use a check and pay it all right there, or I can do installments. So usually if you pay all of it up front, it's a cheaper price. Really think of this as a commitment. I'm getting married next year, so I really wanted to be confident in my smile. So this is an investment in myself. So that's why I chose to go forward with it. Usually the first couple of weeks that you do the Invisalign, it's just a retainer. There's no actual movements happening, just to get you used to having it in your mouth. Now, I had braces when I grew up, and then I broke my retainer and I lost it, and that's why I'm getting this now. But I was kind of used to already having a retainer in my mouth, so I asked to skip that, and that was no problem. So my first retainer I got in was one that would shift my teeth already. I will say that when you first put it in for the first time, I was like, I'm never getting this out. This is so in my mouth, it's so stuck, I could never get it out. If you have nails, you're gonna need to use them. So they always say to kind of tick your nail in the back of your mouth on one side and then pull it off. I have another video that shows how I get it off. It has definitely gotten easier. The first few times I did it, I was like, I'm gonna be stuck with this retainer for the rest of my life in my mouth. But just give it time, try and do it over and over again. So when I decided to go forward with Invisalign, my next appointment, they put attachments on my teeth. So attachments are basically, it looks like a little tiny white square on your teeth. And it depends on how invasive the procedure is gonna be for you. But for me, I think they put 5 on. And they put them in spaces that they just need a little extra pull to pull your teeth on. So especially that one little tooth has one on it. And that was actually a really big bitch to get it on. It fell off immediately the first day. I was like, oh my God, I literally had Invisalign for not even 24 hours and it's broken. So again, a benefit of having Invisalign, I could just call the doctor. I came in the next day, they got me in and they put it back on. So the length of the procedure. So I think the average is 12 to 18 months. Now that's gonna change if you're getting both the top and bottom, if you've had braces in the past, if your teeth are really just janked up. So for me, they gave me an estimate of 8 to 10 months, and I was like, tick, tick, my wedding's in 8 months. So they really wanted to know the date of the wedding too. So say that comes to the time and the procedure isn't quite done yet. My doctor even said that he would take off the attachments so you wouldn't see them. Not that you really see them anyway, but he would just make it so nice for me on my wedding day. And that's not something you could do anywhere else. So I love my dentist. So my dentist only gave me 5 trays to start with. And that's basically because they want to check in with you every so often to make sure it's moving in the right direction. So they put 1 tray on me and then they gave me 4, and then I come in and meet with them. So the first tray I wore for 10 days, the second tray I went for 10 days again, which is today. So now I'm gonna put on a new tray that I'm only gonna wear for a week. So you basically end up seeing your dentist every 6-ish weeks. Today is day 20 for me, so that means I get to put a new tray in, which I'm super excited about. I will say the first day you put in a new tray, I usually have some headaches just because it's tighter on your teeth than the ones you were wearing before. They told me to take naproxen to help with headaches, and that's basically because if you take like ibuprofen, it's actually going to work against your teeth because the swelling in your gums, it just doesn't work with. So if you can avoid taking ibuprofen, do that. Take like naproxen or Aleve or like a Tylenol instead. And I left there, they gave me this box, and basically it has everything I needed, and I've showed it in previous videos, but so they gave me all the different trays for all the weeks. So today I will be putting number 3, and I honestly tried to look at like the difference between the first one they gave me and like 5 weeks later. You can't really see a difference. It takes time, and it's like small, tiny little movements. Again, if you have more of like a wonked up smile, it might be more than that, and you might see a bigger difference, but for me, I don't really see that big of a difference at first. So yep, just looks like this. Very similar to the one I have in my mouth. They also gave me some cleaning crystals that I could clean with. I don't really use these ever. Thankfully, I always like bring my toothbrush and toothpaste with me, so whenever I take my retainer out, I just brush it with it. If I'm waking up in the morning and I'm brushing my teeth, I just brush it with that toothpaste that's still left on it, and that's fine. Sometimes it's a little stanky, so I give it an extra little brush, but you could use the cleaning crystals. I usually use them when I'm done with a retainer, because then I save it in case I break one and I have to go back one. So at least it's not like really smelly at that point. So I'm gonna try and take mine out right now and have it not go all over the place like with my saliva and stuff. Cool. So it looks exactly the same. I said this in another previous video that like it's actually listed on the bottom. You're definitely not gonna see it in these. But it has the number on the bottom, so if you're like, wait, which one did I just take out? It has number 2, it has number 3 on this. So I'm gonna put the 3rd tray in live to see my reaction, if it's like really tight or anything. So let's see how it goes. So I definitely feel it's tighter, especially on my back teeth. Usually when I put a new retainer in too, it takes me a second to be like, how do I talk again? I have a lisp now, like what the. Yep. So just give it a second, you know, you'll get used to it. Yeah. It's in there. So I'm gonna wear this one now for a week, and I'll check back in another week. Wear it for 20 to 22 hours a day. Really make sure you wear it those hours. If you don't, it's just not gonna work. I'll check back in with you guys in a week and leave any questions that you have for me in the comments.